It is a very sad day in the Fire Emblem community as the official trading card game known as Cipher announces that at the end of October it will be releasing its final set of cards, and after that there will be no more. We're going to be taking a look as to why this is the case. I'm going to be reading their official statements, and then I'm going to be doing a little bit of speculation. And I'm going to be talking about what this means for the Fire Emblem community. Even if you're not very into Cipher, this is still really sad and will affect us. So, with that out of the way, let us take a look at why Cipher is coming to an end. Now, before we jump into this, I'm just going to give a very brief summary of what Cipher is, for those of you who may not be aware. It is a Fire Emblem trading card game. It is based exclusively in Japan. It has never been released in the West or given a translation, so any cards that you find online will have Japanese texts. You can get a hold of them in the West if you know where to look. I have been sent a lot of these over the years by fans. And so I actually have a lot of them lying around, and I'm very grateful to everyone who sent me Cipher cards over the years. They're absolutely beautiful. I love the art, but of course, if you don't read Japanese, you're not going to really understand anything. However, there are ways to play Cipher online if you know where to go. Fire Emblem Cipher Fair is a Discord server that has a lot of people who play this game online. There are many various ways of doing it. When me and Mecha did it, we used a program called Lackey, and we were taught by another YouTuber known as Power of Tibarn, a guy that deals a lot in Cipher content. He taught us how to play the game, and we actually did several videos on each of our channels where we played against each other. I'll throw a link to that in the video description if you want to go check it out. We were complete noobs, of course, but I still had a pretty fun time. My interactions with the Cipher Fair community have always been really positive. I really like the people over there. They're super friendly and always very eager to help out and teach you how to play the game. Now, let's take a look at the final statement made by the guys over at Cipher. They released a broadcast this morning, and for everyone going like, this is April Fool's, no, this was released on the 2nd of April, so it's no April Fool's, this is legit. And in this video, they talked a lot about basically the history of Cipher, and they showcased the remaining schedule, and also talked about why Cipher is coming to an end, which definitely made me raise an eyebrow because I don't really understand the reasoning myself. Now, this was in Japanese without subtitles, so I had to head over to Serenus Forest to read a recap of the video itself. And according to this Serenus Forest article here, this is the reason why they're ending it. I'm just gonna read from the article itself. He provides the explanation that it's going away since Heroes now serves its role as a medium for fans to enjoy between mainline Fire Emblem titles. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to the surface, this explanation doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I don't see why the existence of Heroes would invalidate Cipher. Like, one's a mobile game, another is a card game. We should be able to have both. But I'm not accusing them of not being honest here. I think it's more likely that they're simply polites. I mean, we all know why Cipher's coming to an end. It's probably not popular enough to warrant a following. Like, if something doesn't have a huge following, then it ceases to exist, especially if money is involved. Like, you have to make money. You need to have a big fan base, or else there's no point in continuing. You need to make a profit. And I think what they're doing here is they're basically saying that, you know what, if you're looking for something that ties all the Fire Emblem games together, you have Heroes for that now. But we can't continue doing this because our community isn't big enough. To be fair, I don't know how big the following is in Japan. I have no idea. I don't know how big the trading card game industry is in the world these days. When I grew up, trading card games were like the most popular stuff ever, like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering. Like, I grew up playing cards, and I can imagine that as the mobile industry is growing bigger and bigger, and kids are moving more over to using their smartphones for everything, I can imagine that, you know, physical card games are probably on the decline. I don't know about other trading card games, but since we never really saw an attempted release of Cipher in the West, I can only imagine that the numbers weren't big enough for them to warrant doing it. There are other reasons as to why they probably didn't want to release it in the West, but I could only really speculate on that. I had this idea, or like this theory, that a big problem with this card game is the fact that there's so much texts on these, and I'm not gonna I'm not going to say that I understand Japanese writing, but what I do know is that the Japanese writing has a lot less symbols in it. Which means that you can fit more text into the card. Now, if you're going to translate this to English, you're going to need more room, so there will be a lot more text taking up card slots. So I imagine this might be a problem because, again, there's a lot of rules on some of these cards and a lot of texts, and I'm not necessarily sure how you would translate this over to English without having the text go up to here. Again, I don't take me seriously on this because I'm just speculating here, but I think that might be one of the reasons why a translation to English might have been a problem. But at the end of the day, it's probably just that it's not big enough. It's not a big enough industry to warrant bringing over to the West. And if something is exclusively in Japan, well, that's a lot smaller of an audience that you can bring the Cipher game to. If this got an international release, there would be more fans along the world who would be able to play this game, and that would mean more money for the Cipher guys. But because that never happened, it's going to be a lot more difficult. So what does this mean for the Fire Emblem community, and how will it impact us? Even if you don't care in the slightest about Cipher, what you should care about is all the wonderful artwork that we will no longer be seeing after the final set is released in October. As a content creator, I am so grateful for all the wonderful art that we have gotten, especially artists who release the full art, so that we can actually use it for things like thumbnails and videos, and, my character spotlights has a lot of Cipher art in them, and I, for one, I'm very sad by the fact that this is now coming to an end, because, while Heroes also releases some art, they don't release full quality art like Cipher does, with backgrounds and aesthetics and everything. It's not really the same. Also, a thing that I think Cipher does way better than Heroes is Cipher actually gives a lot of attention to characters who don't get a lot of recognition otherwise. I mean, they released Cipher art of the substitutes of FE4. They released Cipher art of characters like Hannibal. Even like bosses that are otherwise not known at all have gotten some sort of Cipher art. Whereas Heroes is a lot less careful when it comes to releasing art. Usually the banners we see are characters that have a lot of mainstream popularity. To be fair, Heroes has gotten a lot better at this recently. There was a time when we used to just see Fates Royals after Fates Royals after Fates Royals. Although I think the year of 2020 we'll see exclusively a lot of Tree Houses banners, and we'll get really tired of it. But that's another story entirely. But yeah, no, I think it's a damn shame. I think it's going to... It's a big loss. In my opinion, it's a big loss for content creators everywhere. Cipher art is such a wonderful resource. It is such an expression of love for the Fire Emblem franchise as a whole. To see all these wonderful characters come to life in this breathtaking artwork. And yeah, no, I'm sad. I'm really, really, really sad. And also grateful to, all the hard work that's been put into this over the years. I wish I could have supported this more. I wish it was released in the West. If it did, I would have bought many cards. I would have played it with my friends. I would have made videos playing it with my friends. If I had a chance to become a fan of this, I would. And I think a lot of people are left with the same feeling. They wish they could have done more to support this industry, but, if we're not in Japan, what can we really do? So, yeah, it's just a shame. But at the end of the day, as I said, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to everything that we've gotten out of this over the last 5 years. I'm grateful that this was made. And it truly was a wonderful thing for the duration that it lasted. And for many years to come, we will continue to enjoy everything that came out of this. All the wonderful artwork. And yeah, absolutely. I don't know what to say. I'm sad. So I want to briefly take a look at the schedule that they posted in their broadcasts, where they show off all the remaining events. So there's a lot of things happening before this comes to a close, and a lot of events taking place in the Cipher community. And I think the ones that will matter the most to all of us is on June the 25th, they're going to be releasing their Series 21 booster release. And then on October 1st, they're going to be releasing their Series 22 booster release. And based on what I understand, the final release that they are going to put out of Cipher cards is going to feature characters from all the games. So it's not just going to be, mostly these are tied to 1 or 2 games, but now we're going to get character art from all the Fire Emblem games. So I hope at the very least that they release art of all the main characters. I think that would be a very beautiful thing to do. That would be a really, really cool set. Just all the main characters, all the lords. I really hope to see that. That would make me very happy. And I'm very excited about this. I know a lot of people are going to ask, will me and Rin, or Rin and I, review the Cipher art? Yes, we definitely will. We still have some art that we need to review and get together for, so we'll do that. And you can absolutely bet that we will get together to review this final set of art, because, you know, we definitely got to give it the grand send-off that it deserves. So to wrap up this video, I would like to give a little bit of a shout out to the Fire Emblem Cipher Fair community. I'm going to be throwing a link to their Discord server as well as their YouTube channel in the video description below if you want to go check them out. Their community is filled with friendly people, really nice guys who are more than happy to teach you how to play the game and to show you how to play it online. So if you think this is all really sad and you would like to, you know, get a little bit into Cipher, play it a little bit, you can definitely go and do that. I am pretty sure that even after Cipher stops releasing cards, these guys will still be around, they'll still be enjoying the game, and probably will be continuing to play it for many years to come. So I don't think you should be worried that they're going away, but of course I can imagine that they're quite sad about this whole stuff, and they may also have some additional insight on this whole issue that I may not have covered, because again, Cipher isn't really my mainline focus. So you can definitely head over to their Discord server and ask around, maybe some of them have some more information on this whole debacle. So finally, I would like to ask you guys, what do you think about this whole thing in the comments down below? What are your feelings on this? Do you care? Do you not care? Do you think this will affect you? Or do you think it won't really have an impact at all? And what do you think about their final statements? What do you think about them saying that Heroes is sort of like now the fan game? Is that the right thing to say? I mean, some people might misunderstand that as them blaming Heroes for their downfall. I know that's not what they said. They were just being polite and giving a nod to the mobile game, but at the same time, this might inadvertently lead to a bit of salts. I mean, not that the Fire Emblem Heroes community is any stranger to that, but still, I just thought about it. You know, it's kind of a weird thing to say. Still, I'd like to hear your opinions down below. As always, guys, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
It's been nearly 5 years since we made our debut in June of 2015. As a company, everything about the trading card games, from publishing to ongoing service, was a totally new experience for us. We only made it this far thanks to all of our customers, our retailers, and our distributors coming together. It gives us so much pride to know how much entertainment we brought you all with Cipher. We'll continue to support Cipher for 1 year further, but it would mean the world to us if you all continue to enjoy Cipher until the very end. From all of us here at the Fire Emblem Cipher team, thank you so much for all the patronage you've given us to this date. April 2nd, 2020. Intelligent Systems. Fire Emblem Cipher Project Team.